This video is sponsored by my Patreon. Check the link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon and join. You get all my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. Check the link down below. Join now. Let's get into the video. Guys, this week's going to be absolutely huge for the stock market, and we got to break it down in this video. We have earnings season kicking off. We have the CPI number from December coming out this week, and we have some new information around COVID coming out of Cyprus, so we have to break it all down in this video, plus my game plan for this upcoming week. So hit the like button, subscribe, get your 2 stocks from Webull, link down below, and you could also get $50 from M1 Finance free, also link down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So before we talk about the CPI number, earnings, before we break down the new strain that we're hearing about, which might be a bunch of BS, it might be legit, it's kind of too early to tell. Before we talk about all of this, let's take a look at what the stock market has been doing. So the past couple of days, and you guys probably already know this, if you don't know this, you've probably been living under a rock. The past couple of days, guys, we've been seeing a lot of red. Let me show you all this 5-day chart. You can see SPY hit an all-time high of around 480. This was back on the 4th of January, so that was a good day at first, right? And then we started selling off aggressively later that day, the next day, and then the past 2 days have been slowing in terms of this sell-off. It's been slowing down a little bit, but still, we just took the lows out on Friday. We took out the lows from the past couple of days. We hit $464.65. So bears are clearly in charge, and going back to that 4-hour chart, you guys can see SPY's breaking under the 180 moving average, which has been support for months for the most part. So honestly, guys, I could see more downside when it comes to SPY, maybe down to about 460. If 460 breaks, there's another downwards gap that we could fill, maybe to 451, 452. So be careful. We'll see what the futures are looking like. When you're watching this video, the futures market will be open. So let me know in the comments, are we green right now? Are we red? So let's say we get a nice big bounce back for the futures. We see the futures are green not only tonight but tomorrow morning as well. Maybe we do see a rally towards 470, maybe a little bit higher than that. But if we gap down, it's not going to be good, guys. Again, 460 is my next target in that case, followed by 452. And when it comes to triple Q, let's see what's going on there. This is holding above 380. We've talked about this a lot. So if we don't hold 380, guys, we break under and start going mid 370s. That's not good. The next gap will be 375. And if that fails to hold, we're probably going to start going down to 365, which is the gap under 375. So this is being dominated by the bears, no doubt, at least over the past couple of days. And we'll see what ends up happening over the next couple of days. I'm super excited about it. So this week we have earnings season kicking off. We have DAL, Delta Airlines, JP Morgan, we have Wells Fargo, and later this month we have some big companies. Not that those three we just mentioned aren't big, but some bigger companies, right? We have Netflix, we have Intel, we have Amex, American Express, we have Johnson & Johnson, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, AT&T, some energy companies, we have ConocoPhillips, and more. So we're getting to that fun time period, guys. We're getting to earnings season, and a lot of big tech names are reporting pretty soon here as well. So I'm pumped about that. And we also get the December CPI number, which we're going to see how bad inflation was in December, guys, which we know at this point inflation is at multi-decade high levels. This is insane inflation that we're seeing here, and a lot of people argue that the number we have right now, what is it, 7% annualized, something like that, give or take. The number we have now, a lot of people are saying, and I tend to agree with this, it's not 100% accurate, so it could be even higher, maybe 10, 12%, who the heck knows? But all we need to know is inflation is very hot right now, and if this week's number from December is worse than expected, the markets could slide a bit. We might see that, and that's going to put pressure on the Fed to raise interest rates even sooner. But let's say we have the CPI number for December. It's cooler than expected. Let's say it's lower than expected, whatever you want to call it, guys. that might mean, okay, we might see a little rally in the markets. Maybe the Fed won't hunker down on rates as soon as possible, even though they're going to raise them eventually, sooner rather than later, later rather than sooner. Who the heck knows, right? But this is what I'm thinking here. And on top of that, we have some new news around a strain in Cyprus. A researcher in Cyprus has discovered a strain of the CV that combines the Delta and the Omicron variant. And again, I'm not sure if this is legit, guys. I don't know. I just was reading some articles, read this one, and I figured, hey, why not cover it in the video? And this was from a Bloomberg News report that came out on Saturday. And Leon Dios Kostrikis, professor of biological sciences at the University of Cyprus, called the strain Deltacron. So, I mean, he's combining Delta, Omicron, Deltacron. You guys probably got that. So that's what he's calling it. And so far, Kostrikis and his team have found 25 cases of the virus, according to the report. So it's very, very tiny, the spread, and it's still too early to tell whether there are more cases of the strain or what impacts it could have. So keep your eyes out on this. It could be a load of crap. It could be legit in Cyprus. Who the heck knows, guys? And watch out for the CPI number that comes out this Wednesday, January 12th. That comes out in the morning. So this is going to be a big week, guys. I'm very excited. And now let's talk about some stocks that I'm looking at. Number one is Delta Airlines, ticker symbol DAL. So let's see if I can get the ticker right, guys. There we go. Delta Airlines has been doing pretty well recently, guys. Just on Friday alone, the stock went up 3.5%. And if you take a look here, the lows from about a month and a half ago were around $33. Now we're above $40. So just in the past 5-ish weeks, a little bit more, this stock has rallied about 20%. It's up over $8 per share, and I'm noticing a break above the moving averages, and we're seeing a golden cross, the 50s crossing above the 180 SMA here. So although this one's still overall in a bearish trend, I would say, as you guys can see, based on the trend line that I just drew, I'm still going to be watching it because we have earnings coming up this week on the 13th. So that's 4 days. What is that? Maybe Thursday. And it's already been gaining momentum. Let's see if we can now, let's say if earnings come out, they're great, guidance, revenue, EPS. Let's see if we can gain momentum out of the mid-40s, which at that point, we really could start seeing a reversal in these airlines, not only DAL, but in general, because a lot of these airlines have been beaten down. They're slowly recovering, and on top of that, we have to watch out for Omicron. If these cases start dying down in a couple of weeks, maybe late January, early February, that's going to be very good for stocks like the airlines, DAL, UAL, LUV, cruise lines, and so forth. So keep your eyes on this stock for earnings this week. We have Li Auto, which they aren't reporting earnings this week, but I actually like the chart. It's looking pretty decent heading into this week. I'm personally noticing this is holding the uptrend on the 4-hour chart. Yes, we are a little bit under both moving averages on the 4-hour chart as well, but the fact that we are holding a higher low here at about $28.50. Now we cracked above $29 on Friday. The stock went up 3%. This looks like it is trying to potentially make a move to the upside. You guys could see these higher lows that I'm drawing out right here. So this looks pretty decent. I think overall, if we're looking at the past couple of months, we can see an ascending triangle as well. You guys can see that clear resistance at about 38 as we've been uptrending into that. So if we start breaking back over the moving averages on Li Auto, let's say $30, $31 per share, this one's going to start taking off, in my opinion, probably back up mid to high 30s. So I'm going to put an alert at $31 right now. That's right around the moving averages. So if we start taking that point out again, there's a wide open gap between 34 to 38 bucks. That's where the stock could be going. So the next one is Honeywell, ticker symbol HON. You guys can see, like Li Auto, this one's also being dominated overall by the bears. I mean, we're still in a bearish trend at this point, but it is starting to reverse. We had a 2.3% green day on Friday. And you guys notice we clearly broke the moving averages, and we also took out a key resistance of around, which was around 212. You guys can see that was support in the middle of June, and also between, let's see here, middle September throughout the end of October pretty much, and even late November until we collapsed under 212, we held above it. So now that we're breaking back over 212, we're essentially in a new channel where the upside potential here with Honeywell in the short term being around 230, 228, which is where we got to last time we held 212, and the past couple of times we've held 212. So Honeywell is looking good. We took out the highs from earlier last week. We did that on Friday with that almost 2.5% green day. So I think this one will continue. There's probably more upside in the short term, and we have earnings coming up. When are their earnings? They're on the 21st, so not this week, but the week after. Honeywell's reporting, so we have to watch it. SIVB is one that I called out earlier, or actually it was later last week. It might have been on Thursday. I called out this one, and then we had a pretty nice breakout, I think right around when we called it. I forget if it was before or after, but overall this one's breaking out of the wedge on the 4-hour chart here. We have some inverse head and shoulders action as well, and we're above the moving averages. So I think this one in the short term could go to about 760, maybe 770. Maybe we break out, start taking out the highs, and yeah, I think there's upside, clear momentum. We have earnings coming up later this month as well on this one on the 20th. This is SVB Financial, so keep an eye on it. The trend looks great. Momentum is building up, and we have United Health as well for this week, which admittedly this is a falling knife right now. It went down 2.3% on Friday, and overall in the past couple of days it's down over 10%, so now it's in correction territory. So yes, it's a falling knife. It's been crashing through the floor recently, but we have earnings coming up in 10 days from now, so not this week, the week after. And typically we've seen around this 180 moving average over the past couple of months, buyers have stepped in each time we've gotten oversold. And now, like I said, we're a falling knife. We're very oversold on the RSI on the 4-hour chart. I wouldn't be surprised if buyers stepped in. I'd give it a window between 440 and 450 to 55. If buyers stepped in around that $10, $15 window, that would not surprise me, because I think this, each time again, it gets oversold, buyers bid it up, and it's a pretty predictable trend. So we're going to be watching UNH into earnings. This might even rally this whole week into the earnings the following week. That's possible, so watch out for it. UNH. And we have JP Morgan. Like I said, guys, we have a lot of earnings. Earnings season kicking off this week. We have the airlines. We have a lot of banks, financials, right? And then we're going to start getting to the good stuff later on this month and in February, early February. So JP Morgan is this week on, let's see here, maybe Tuesday. Actually, no, that's wrong. They're reporting on the 14th, which is probably what? It's probably a Friday, right? So maybe Thursday, Friday, one of those days. So yeah, JP Morgan went up 1% on Friday, and you guys can see over the past couple of days, this one's been doing very freaking well. I mean, look, we have the inverse head and shoulders playing out. We're above the moving averages. We're noticing a golden cross. So I think if they nail earnings, guys, plain and simple, if they nail earnings, JP Morgan's likely, I don't want to say likely, it's definitely going to happen, because I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't know the future, but if they do well with earnings, I think there could be a bigger move coming here. I mean, this thing could go easily above 170 over the next couple of weeks. It's definitely possible. So watch out for that one. And Wells Fargo, WFC, which just hit a high on this 4-hour chart. This goes to show, guys, how well the banks have been doing. Oil as of late, energy has been crushing it. You guys in my Patreon know I'm in, what is it, XLE. That's one that I've been buying. I was buying a lot of that one. So yeah, energy, financials, these have been doing so well. And I'm curious to see how these earnings will affect the performance. Are they going to, and the performance of the stock, I mean, are they going to drop the ball in earnings and these stocks crash 5, 10, 15%? Are they going to crush earnings and these stocks go up even higher. Wells Fargo hits another high, keeps going up. JP Morgan goes 170, 175. This is what I'm waiting for over the next couple of days. And let's see here. What is Wells Fargo? What is their all-time high? It's got to be like $100 a share. That's my guess. No, that's crazy. Actually, not $100. That was a bad guess. $66. That is their all-time high, which was hit back in 2017. They had that whole fiasco, I remember, with the fraud. And then in 2020, the stock went down to $21. Now it's up almost 3x what it was just about a year. How long ago is that? Almost 2 years ago. Year and a half, 2 years ago. So, yeah, Wells Fargo, we're watching it, guys. And overall, again, DAL, Li Auto, Honeywell, SIVB, SVB Financial, we're watching that one. UNH, JP Morgan, and again, Wells Fargo. So this week's going to be big. It's going to be big. I'm excited. Expect some volatility. It's going to be wild out there with that CPI number coming out on Wednesday. We have earnings, this new strain, which probably will be a nothing burger, but hey, why not cover it and bring awareness? So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment, and don't forget to join my Patreon if you want all my buys, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more. All of that's on Patreon, link down below, or you guys can go to StasserFest.com/Patreon. That's StasserFest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your free money. I just dropped my chapstick. Who doesn't like free money, guys? Get your 2 stocks from Webull and your $50 from M1 Finance, link down below. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, which I made an M1 Finance portfolio update video earlier. I'll pop it up here. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out.